Hey, what in the world are you doing here? What are you doing? What are you doing? Why are you here? Why are you watching this? Stop. Just don't bother. Don't bother. Don't bother watching this. I'm just going to say this right off the bat. Usually I go into a whole thing where I say, welcome to another episode of Making It Relatable. Hey, episode 24. No, I'm not doing that. I'm telling you, stop right now. Do something different. Do something different. There's a lot of things you could be doing right now. So many things you could be doing at this exact moment in time. If it's during the day, you can go out and just throw around a basketball or go for a walk. Enjoy the beautiful weather. If you're somewhere where there isn't beautiful weather, that's fine. Stay indoors, maybe play a few video games, maybe call a friend, maybe watch a movie that you've been wanting to watch for a very long time, or even rewatch a movie that you really enjoy. You can do millions, pretty much an infinite amount of other things besides being here and watching this video. So just stop. Just don't bother. But if you're still here, what are you doing? What are you doing? And if you're still here, you're still here. Okay, fine. Then you're persistent, and that's great, awesome, and then also happy to have you here. Welcome to another episode of Making It Relatable, episode 24. Let's do it. Lots to talk about, lots to catch up on, and we're going to have a great time catching up on stuff. As usual, going to mention to you, don't subscribe, don't like the video, don't share the video, don't comment on the video, don't ping the notification bell, don't do any of that stuff. We don't do that stuff around here. There's no point in doing it because the whole thing about this channel is about being rebellious. We're being rebellious. That's what we do around here. So it's great to have you. Great to have you. And my goal really is to see if how awesome would it be to have like maybe the community. We got a community of 3. We know we got the community of 3, and to continue having just a community of 3, but get to the point where there's, let's say, like 1,000,000 views. How awesome would that be? Got 1,000,000 views. You look at the subscribers, and I got consistently 1,000,000 views. But you look at the subscribers, and it's like 3, 4, 5 subscribers. I just think that'd be kind of cool. So we'll see. We'll see if we can do it. But in any case, let's hang out. I got the phone out. Lots to talk about. Been making notes, and I went to New York. I went to New York. Now, I like saying that, by the way. I don't know what it is, but I like just saying I went to New York because every time you tell somebody that you're going to New York, they automatically assume you're going to New York City. And I get it. Of course. I get it. That's the place to go. If you say you're going to New York, like that is the place to go. New York City, right? Think of New York, you think New York City. Automatically. Say New York, even if you're not saying New York City, you're thinking New York City, right? But really, when you say New York, you're talking about New York State. You could be anywhere in New York State. You really could. And where was I? I was not in New York City, even though I just let people think that when I say I went to New York, I'm going to New York, or I'm in New York. I was in Rochester. What was I doing in Rochester? Well, let me tell you. Just hold your horses. Just take a deep breath. Relax. Now I'm going to tell you what I was doing in Rochester. So, 2 things that are kind of cool, actually, I should mention before I go into why I was in Rochester. I think it's cool. It's very enjoyable to go to the United States because I'm Canadian. I like passing. I like going to the border. I like going to the border. I like that sort of experience of crossing the border, getting into a different country, and then coming back. It's a really interesting experience, like every single time, right? And because I'm in Toronto, and because you watch every single one of these episodes, and you've been watching all these episodes for a very long time, the millions of people that do, of course, and since I've been in Toronto, I'm very close to the United States. So I've been to the United States many times, and then come back over, and it's always kind of cool to see that Border Patrol is very different. If you've never come to Canada and you're in the United States, or you're in Canada and you've never gone to the United States, or whatever, you live in a different part of the world, you don't necessarily, you might not realize what the difference is between the Border Patrol, it's very interesting. Going into the United States, it's a little bit more, definitely more intimidating going into the United States as it is coming. Like When you come back into Canada, the Border Patrol is like super friendly. Like, hey, how's it going? It's great, great to have you here. And they're like want to have a whole conversation and it's super nice. When you go to the States, they pretty much don't say anything, and you just have to kind of know the routine, and you go through it, and then actually as soon as we passed Border Patrol, we're already getting yelled at. As soon as we get in the United States, we're already getting yelled at immediately by two officers, and we're just driving, and the car in front of us was kind of like there was this area where when you drove into the border, you drove past the border, and they have this sort of it's weird because it's not like a straight road that goes that leads you exactly where you should be going. It's kind of like an open paved area at first, and so this one guy that was in front of us was clearly confused and he wasn't sure where to go, and Border Patrol was yelling at him, but then also yelling at us because we're slowing down because we're trying to give this guy room because we don't know what the hell he's doing. And we got yelled at as soon as we got in. As soon as we got into the States, getting yelled at immediately. It's very interesting. It's all good. Weren't upset by it that or anything like that. It was just interesting. It's like, okay, like just kind of caught us off guard, but whatever. And then just kept on our way and had an awesome trip. So why did I go to Rochester? So I went with a friend of mine that lives here. He's got a twin brother who's a doctor in Rochester. And I went with a friend of his as well, we've hung out like a few times, but never really connected. We had a great time on this trip. Definitely connected really well with that dude. And it was their birthday. It was their birthday. It was the twin brother's birthday, and we wanted to celebrate together. And they've been asking me to go down and hang out there. They've asked me to go down and hang out quite a few times, and I keep turning them down for a number of different reasons. But I was able to do it this time, and it was fantastic, and happy I did it, and that's why I was there. So now we're going to talk about the many things that happened in the short trip over the weekend, just a few days in Rochester. There's a lot to unpack. We unpack things here. We're going to unpack a lot of things. And like I said, I've made notes, thoughts, just I get thoughts and I write them down. I should actually kind of backtrack a little bit. I should backtrack. So on the way, and like, so my buddy who was driving, the twin brother, the twin brother that's here, was driving obviously to the twin brother that's in Rochester. So the twin brother that's here, he's been to Rochester many times, and somehow, and I'm not judging at all, but somehow, I don't get it, he needs a GPS to lead him the way. And also, like, in Toronto, it's not like there's many different highways that you can take to get to the States. There's one. So, kind of confusing because, and I discovered, I didn't know that he didn't know his way. I knew he was using a GPS, but I just thought he was using it to use it. Sometimes I've done that before. Like, I know my way, but I just kind of use the GPS anyways because it's just kind of nice to have on, and just in case you get a little distracted or whatever, then you got it. I discovered that he has no clue how to get there, because I was in the front seat with him. Friend was in the back seat. So friend in the back seat we went very late at night, so he just went to sleep and he was relaxing in the back. I wanted to control the music because his music is awful. It's just brutal. It's terrible. So I controlled the music. Granted, I know a lot of people don't like my taste in music because it's an acquired taste. Let's just say my music is an acquired taste. I like some not so known bands. I like to hear like real good and interesting creative musicianship. That's what I look for when I listen to music. Not all the time, but a lot of the time. And I was listening to my music. He was getting annoyed by my music. I was ignoring him. Just wanted to listen to my music anyways. And somehow we got to a certain point where he's like, where in the world are we? It's like, what do you mean, where in the world are we? It's like, I don't know where we are. I'm like, well, dude, I'm not driving. I'm focusing on, picking some songs that I like. That's all I'm focusing on. You're doing the driving. You should know where you're going, dude. And you've got your GPS on. Now, what I didn't realize is that okay. So we had difficulty. I've got to give you more details here. We had difficulty connecting to the Bluetooth. I couldn't connect via Bluetooth on my phone to the car. Wasn't happening. We were trying everything. I was reading the owner's manual. Owner's manual was awful. Like, you'd think an owner's manual, they would just simply put, like, here's step number 1. Here's step number 2. Here's step number 3. They don't do that. They just write a whole bunch of stuff and hope you understand what they're talking about. And also, this owner's manual, clearly, the people that wrote it don't speak English very well. So, had to just kind of figure out things ourselves. Couldn't figure it out ourselves. Just gave up. I used his phone. His phone has the GPS on it. I was getting notifications about turn here, turn here, turn here. Completely flat out ignoring them, just swiping them. Just totally ignoring the notifications. Just didn't care at all. I figured the guy knows where he's going. He's got to know where he's going. And also, he didn't even ask me once, like, hey, are we getting any notifications or anything? He turns off the volume on his GPS. Like, who does that? Who does that? Like, I don't know anybody that turns their volume off like, if you got your GPS on, you're driving, you want to be able to hear the voice telling you, like, when to turn and then that sort of thing, and where you are and how long you have and all that stuff. So he doesn't do any of that. Doesn't know where he's going. I'm just focusing on my music, ignoring the notifications on his phone, and we're driving, and yeah, he's just like, where are we? Where are we? And I was like, I don't know where we are. Why would I know where we are? Why in the world am I going to pay attention to where we are? There's no reason for me to do that. You're driving. I'm focusing on listening to some good music on this trip. And yeah, and you've been there like a ton of times. So you should just know. You should, as far as I'm concerned, you should not even need a GPS. You should just know. Yeah, especially since there's one road. One road. So how far out of the way were we? Take a guess. Take a guess. How long did it take for him to realize something's wrong? 15 minutes? No. 30 minutes? No. 45 minutes? No. Over an hour. Over an hour. How's that happen? How does that happen? That over an hour takes you over an hour to realize that, hey, something's weird. Something's happening that shouldn't be happening. You're just driving. You're just driving aimlessly, just hoping that you're going in the right direction. That's strange. That's a little strange. A little strange. A lot of strange things about that. So that was interesting. That was very interesting. So completely his fault. Not my fault at all. As far as I'm concerned, 100% not my fault. 100% his fault. Yeah, he's got to get his shit together. He's got to get his shit together. Let's be real. He's got to get his shit together. But whatever. So, all right. So this is sort of a general statement that I have to make. And I'm not sure if these are the only twin friends I have. So I don't know what twins are like besides these twins. I have no clue. And it'd be interesting to find out if, like, maybe this is just a thing generally with twins. Maybe. I don't know. I'm not saying it is. I'd just be interesting if this was. That's all I'm saying. And it'd be also interesting if it wasn't, and it was only these particular twins that are like this. Let me explain. So every time it is their birthday, what do? Well, buy them a gift Of course. Of course I buy them a gift. I mean, they're my friends, you know, love hanging out with them. Great guys. I buy them a gift. Sometimes it's something really simple. Sometimes it's very small, but I buy one twin a gift, and I buy the other twin another gift. Sometimes it's the same gift. Sometimes. But I always buy each one of them a gift. You probably see where I'm going with this. Every time it's my birthday, what do you think happens? What do you think happens on my birthday? On my birthday, I get one gift. One. Shared between the two of them. So I get half a gift. I get half a gift from each one of them. I get half a gift from him. I get half a gift from him. Half a gift. Have you ever received half of a gift before? Has that ever happened to you in your life? With anybody? If it has, don't let me know. Don't let me know. Don't leave anything in the comments to let me know that. But just think about that. Think about it. And that's interesting. Only time I've ever received half a gift before is from them. Each. Half a gift from him, half a gift from him. One whole gift shared between the two of them. Cheap bastards. Cheap. That's pretty cheap. That's pretty cheap. Yeah. Now, they've been friends with me for 20 years. I've been doing that for 20 years. Been putting up with that. 20 years. And it's always bothered me, but it's been like, I'm the type of person to be like, nah, whatever. There's like more important things to be concerned about. Whatever. And I just accept people for who they are, generally speaking. This year is the first year that I mentioned something to them. I said, guys, enough is enough. Enough is enough. I bought you and have been buying you each one gift. I bought one gift for you, one gift for you. And you, bastards, only give me half a gift each. That's cheap. And no more. For now on, going forward, I want one gift from each of you. And they're like, but, you know, we're brothers. We're twins. Like, that's okay to do. Like, no, actually, that's not okay to do. And in fact, for now on, I'm buying half a gift then. If you want to do that, I'm buying a half a gift for you and another half a gift for you. You each get half of a gift. Yeah. So we do. I'm going to go to the store. I'm going to buy a basketball and I'm going to cut it in half and I'll give half of the basketball to you and half of the basketball to you. How about that? How about we do that? Did that sound nice? Do you like that idea? Does that work for you? What do you think? Yes? We could do that in many different things. Or maybe, here's another great idea. Maybe you both would really like to be able to go see a movie. Maybe you'd like to go see a movie. Maybe there's a movie out you'd really like to go see. And you know what? Each one of you only gets to see half of the movie. You can see the first half, and then you got to leave and let your brother see the second half. Because I'm only buying one ticket for the both of you to share. How about that? You like that idea? Does that work for you? Does that sound nice? Yeah? Let's do that. For now on, that's what we're doing. Or what we could do going forward is, for now on, I just keep doing what I'm doing because I'm doing the right thing. I'm doing the thing that's normal, the thing that's like, you know, socially normal. And you guys also do the thing that's socially normal and you each buy me one gift on my birthday. How about that? How about that? Yeah. So, I got my point across. I think I got my point across. I think I did. And actually on their birthday, they both bought me dinner. How about that? How about that? And I bought them dinner too, and I bought them some drinks and stuff on another night, but they each bought me dinner on their birthday, like different nights, 3 nights, right? So I bought a birthday dinner for them. They bought a dinner for me, and the other one bought a dinner for me. Pretty awesome. Pretty awesome. So it sounds like I made my point, and I really shouldn't take so long. 20 years is a long time to make a point. But hey, better late than never, I guess, right? Now, oh, since we're on the topic of birthdays, I had this thought that came into my mind that was also interesting about how people buy gifts for their birthday. So my grandmother, love her, she's awesome. My grandmother, every year, every single year, on my birthday, since I was a little kid, she would send me $18 on my birthday. A check for $18 on my birthday every year. Now, when you're, 5 and it's the 1980s, $18, pretty good. It's pretty good. You can buy a lot of candy for $18, right? When you're 35, $18, not going to cut it. It's not going to cut it. I can't even buy a bag of chips for $18 at 35 years old. Okay, yeah, you can buy a bag of chips. But $18? No. That's like 18 cents in the 1980s. So, doesn't cut it. But however, my grandmother, again, I just accept people, not going to say anything. I'm not going to be like, hey, you should give me more money or don't give me money at all. Of course, I'm not going to say that, but I'm thinking it. I'm thinking, you're cheap. You're cheap. Why are people so cheap on birthdays? Anyways, it's fine. All good. Now, what's interesting is there was one point in my life where she decided that she was going to give me, for my birthday, for whatever reason, a few $100s. Wow. That threw me back. Surprising. Very surprising. Very, that doesn't happen, right? What also doesn't happen, and I wonder if this happens to you, is my grandmother misspells my name on the check. Isn't that interesting? The first year that I actually get like a pretty decent amount of money, it makes me go like, whoa, that's like generous. That's really generous. So thoughtful and surprising coming from somebody who only gives you $18 every single year for, 40 years. And all of a sudden decides they're going to give you a few $100s. Wow. Throw them back. Take a good look. Realize name spelled wrong. Grandmother spells my name wrong on a check. How? I've got the same last name as you. You've known me 40 years. We talk all the time. You know who I am. I get it. You're a little bit older, but it's... So, did she mean to do that? Who knows? And I'll never find out because what I do, I looked at it and I was like, wow, that's a good amount of money. Wow, that's interesting. Misspelled my name. So I ripped up the check. I ripped it up. That's what I did. And this was a memory I had. I wanted to share with you of me ripping up this check for my grandmother because she misspelled my name. And it felt pretty good to do, actually. I wasn't mad. I was just confused and it was weird. And I didn't want to approach her about it. And I just thought, okay, thanks, I guess. I don't know. So, yeah. Ripped up the check, threw every little bit of that check out, and never told her. And I'm telling all of you, since there's so many of you that watch this video, of course, 2 of you and me. So 3 of us. Oh, yeah. All right. So this is also pretty interesting. I think this is an interesting thought. It's just a little thought that I had. Thought it was interesting. Wanted to share it. This is like, this is what I do. I have thoughts of things and it makes me go like, ooh, I should definitely bring that up when I do or if I do. But now I'm kind of saying when I do another one of these, even though it's kind of if I do another one of these. whatever this is. So, um, like, because I was thinking along the lines of birthdays, and you're only going to have so many birthdays, and then, of course, at some point, not going to be around forever unless they come up with some sort of technological advance where you can be around forever. But until then, you're going to die. Everybody's going to die. You know you're going to die. I'm going to die. Everybody you love is going to die. Everybody's going to die. Right? Now that we feel great, now that we feel awesome and fantastic, let's talk about different options for death. How about that? Isn't that a great topic of discussion? Yeah. Again, just where my mind went, I wanted to share it with you. And I thought to myself, well, what are different options when you die? Of course, you can get buried. Sure. Get put in a box. Or maybe not even in a box. Maybe you just are thrown into a pit. Maybe you're just thrown into a pit and dirt's straight on top of your body. You could do that too, I guess. But typically, if people are going to be buried, it's in a box of some sort. Or you can go into like a mausoleum. You could do that. You could also be burnt. Yeah, could be thrown into some fire. Bodies burnt, turn into ashes. Sure, could do that. Sprinkled over top of the ocean. Yeah, right. Or maybe left in a little urn of some sort and up on a counter to be remembered. Sure, could do that. But another option that I think a lot of people don't think about, that I think would be interesting, and they do this for every animal besides humans, which is taxidermy. Right? Maybe you have. Let's be real about this. Let's think about it for a second. Maybe you have somebody who you really, really love. And you want to be able to see them in some way, still, every day, even though they might not really see you or recognize you. And what better way than to see their actual form every day by going to a taxidermist, having them stuffed, and placed somewhere in your living environment. That should be an option. I'm just saying that should be an option. I'm not saying that that's something that I want to do, or that's something that, I would like to be done to myself, or I like to have that done to a loved one of mine. I'm just saying that should be an option. That's all. Should be an option. Should be allowed to do that sort of thing. And they do that for every other animal. And you know what? Some of these taxidermists are awesome. Like, they're amazing. You've never seen, you should look up what it's an art. It's like they take these animals and they look so lifelike, and it's unbelievable. Like, really unbelievable work they do. Preserve the body and everything, just fantastic. So I think that would be quite interesting. It'd be quite interesting. And maybe it is something that I would like to have done. Maybe I'd like to have that done. I don't know. Also, something else that I thought would be interesting is, mummification. Like, there should be an option to be mummified if you want to be mummified. Yeah, and put into some sort of tomb. I think these are just interesting options that should be allowed, that people should be thinking more about. And I'm going to advocate for this sort of thing. This is my mission. I'm going to go on a mission now, or I'm going to advocate. I'm not really going to do this, but I'm going to go on a mission where I would like to advocate, like to push forward the idea of people being mummified and or stuffed to be left out in an environment where you can be seen by your loved ones, or even people that you don't like, for a very long time. I just think that should be something that people think more about. So there you go. And now you can't unthink that idea. So, all right. So this is the last thing. Last thing I'm going to mention. Okay. So one of the friends that I was with, I was with 3 guys in New York. One of them has, let's say, not had the most opportunities. Let's say opportunities is a good word. Hasn't had the most opportunities with women. So again, no judgment on it. No judgment. And he's with 2 guys me being included, uh, who have had and who continue to have a decent amount of opportunities with women. Okay. So again, I'm not saying anything by that. I'm not saying like look at me, how awesome I am. No, that's not the point of me saying. I'm just talking about facts. I'm just talking about absolute facts here, and that's it. And there's a reason why I mentioned this, so just bear with me. So we're at this bar, and the three of us, the other twin brother that lives in Rochester, he decided to go home. He had to wake up early the next day. Anyways, um, we're at the bar. We're having a good time, and there's three girls that walk in. They're at one side of the bar, we're the other. My buddy says to me, "You should go over and talk to them." I said, "Okay, sure." So I went over and I started making conversation. Hit it off with one, um, and things are going really well. And the other two girls are sort of talking to them, and my buddy, he's gets very like touchy feely, and I can tell it's making them kind of uncomfortable. And he's not reading the situation. He's not. Really not. Like, it's obvious. It's uncomfortable for them, and they're being polite, but it's uncomfortable, and totally not reading the situation at all. So I'm just staring at my other buddy who, has opportunities, and he's staring at me, and we're both looking at my touchy feely friend, and we're just shaking our head. And he goes, "What are you going to do?" And I said, "Hey, man, you can't help somebody who doesn't even realize that they need help. You can't. You can't." And not only is he touchy feely, like overly touchy feely, uh, like a little bit is okay. A little bit is okay. But I find it's actually much better as a man to not be touchy feely at all and invite the woman to be touchy feely with you. That's much better. Much better. Lets the woman feel a lot safer. It also is a lot more attractive to a woman. And it's not creepy. For everybody. For everybody. Creepy for them, creepy for me. And I even asked, I asked this girl I was talking to, and we were talking like the whole night nonstop. And I asked her, I'm like, if you're bothered by that, you can say something. She's like, nah, I'm okay. I'm fine. I'm like, seriously, but I'm serious though. I'm not just saying that. If you're bothered and you would prefer not to say anything, I can say something if you like. She's like, no, it's okay. It's okay. I could tell she didn't want to make any trouble. I said, okay, it's up to you. But I'm just letting you know it's not going to stop unless you say something. She's like, well, he doesn't mean any harm. I'm like, for sure he doesn't mean any harm, of course. But it's just, I can tell it's uncomfortable for you, uncomfortable for me. And, but at the same time, I'm asking you what you would like to do about this. Because after all, you're the one that's being touched. So, anyways, just found that, again, all these things are just interesting. Just interesting to watch people interact, especially somebody who clearly, like if I'm in an environment where clearly somebody is shown results better than me, like if I want to get certain results and I'm in an environment where somebody definitely gets better results than me, I'm going to try to like kind of feed off of them and learn from them and try to understand like what they do to get those results and see if I can replicate that myself, and learn from it. But he doesn't do that at all. Like we're having this serious, like here's another example. We're having like this serious discussion and she's talking about like these really serious things about her and her past. And granted, I mean, the whole conversation was about her and I was like bored out of my mind listening to it. But, it's just whatever, listening. There's nothing else really to do. Have a few drinks, listen to this girl talk about these horrible things that have happened to her, whatever. And clearly she needed somebody to just listen to her. So whatever, I did it. nothing better to do, whatever. So I, as I'm listening to her and she's talking about like these really like serious things, he just like is butting into the conversation, talking about like his past and everything. And it's like, really, dude? She doesn't care. She doesn't care about anything to do with your past. And he mentions this one thing and she completely ignores him and just starts talking more about her stuff. And then he tries to, talk about his stuff again. And she completely, like, not getting the hint at all, dude. No, she's not interested. She doesn't care. She doesn't care. Like, I've been already talking to this girl for a few hours and she hasn't even asked me one question about me. Not even one question about me. Nothing. Just wants to talk about herself. She just wants to vent and talk about all the different troubles that she's had in her life. That's what she wants to do. So you don't matter, dude. You don't matter. I don't matter. You don't matter. Nobody else matters. She's the only one that matters. As far as she's concerned. Clearly. Whatever. I don't care because I'm never going to see her for the rest of my life. Which would be fantastic. And yeah, just not reading people. Not reading people, dude. Not reading people. And it's different to not read people when it's like your buddies. Because I accept this about him. Like, he's a good dude. Like, he's an awesome dude. Like, in so many ways, but he's just not very good at sort of reading people so much. So, but whatever. But if it's somebody brand new, and especially if it's like you're trying to develop an attraction between you and a woman, like, you have to be able to read women very well to build that attraction. You have to. And he just doesn't get it and can't teach him this. And even if I try to mention to him, he just probably wouldn't even listen. So whatever though, whatever. And that's, and that, it is what it is. Anyways, so overall, awesome time in New York. Really good, really great people. Met a lot of really nice people. There's a lot more. There's a lot of other stories to talk about, a lot of other things to mention, but I don't want to talk about them. Those are all the things that I want to talk about. I want to talk about anything else. I totally could. A lot of other interesting things happen, but I'm going to keep them to myself. Not sharing them with you. I'm only sharing some of the things. You only get some of the things. That's just the way it goes, because that's how I roll, and that's the decision I made, and you're just going to have to deal with it. Yeah. So in any case, I guess we will see you next time. Bye.